Am I really going to show you 69 PBs? No, that would be ridiculous. They come in packs of 5. Obviously, I might as well show you the 70th. I am going to double the speed for you because otherwise we would be here all day. So, enjoy. The first 5 weeks of shorts were Nadeo made, which means that the author times were, how you say, very beginner friendly. As such, I would mostly just get the 5ATs and move on with my life after 20 minutes of grinding. Unfortunately, this was also the case for the week that has just ended by the time you're watching this. I spent half an hour getting all 5ATs. I have the recording, you'll see it when we get to it. There was a change to the rules, which, among other things, was supposed to nerf the ATs in the weeklies. But then again, Nadeo have been trying to nerf the ATs in Track of the Day for ages, and that never happened. So I think what's happened is that we're seeing an overcorrection, kind of like we saw with the with console release in Track of the Day, and in a few weeks we'll be back to normal. That's what I hope anyways, because I do honestly want author times to actually take effort to get, because if you have a full week and you get all the author times in half an hour, what's keeping you there, honestly? Two of the trade-offs of watching this at double speed. One, you don't really get to linger quite as much on my sloppy driving through the Nadeo maps. And two, the default Nadeo soundtrack sounds pretty damn wild, as far as I'm concerned. The flip side of the double speed is that I don't really have time to talk all too much about any one particular map. There are a few maps that I do comment on because I like them that much, but mostly you'll just see effectively a blur of maps zooming past, and this is particularly a problem for the maps that have cuts, because you don't ever get to see the intended route, and by the time you realize that I cut, you're already on to the next map. But oh well. One thing I'll mention, just in case this video somehow found someone that didn't get a link from me directly. The way the weeklies work is that they are active for a week, and during that week, any time that is AT or better, or that is author time or better, automatically becomes secret. What that means is that basically you can't glean a strategy from anybody who already has AT, but if someone had the right idea but just executed it poorly, you can still learn from that. So there are definitely maps where I struggle to get AT, where I found myself viewing goal times that were in my vicinity, then getting a better PB, which then allowed me to watch better goal time, and then from that slowly piecing together what strategy was viable. But that wasn't happening during these Nadeos that we're still on. So that's the late stage development. And of course, just as I finished saying that, we're on to week 5 and the first of the user-made maps. So with this reroute playing in the background, I'm actually gonna leave you to just watch the footage on its own for a bit, and I'm just gonna pop in every now and then to talk about the few maps I do have something to say about. So here we have the first of two Ares maps, and this is probably the first time where I was fully in the mud and just actually grinding and grinding and grinding just to get AT. This one I straight up would not have been able to find had it not been for the Stoir boys, and specifically Putzer being in my club and me being able to watch his run. Here we have the other Ares map, and this I had so much fun pathfinding and figuring out like which route is the most efficient. I don't think I found the most efficient route. The one I found was pretty damn efficient.
And I feel like, especially on a lot of the maps that have cuts, like, you sort of don't really get to appreciate how much time that saves because I'm not showing the intended route. So you don't really necessarily know what that looks like. Okay, and now we are on to um, the week that has just ended, and for that reason, I have slowed the footage down to normal speed. It looks like half speed, but that's because it is relative to what we just saw. This is a terrible run, but as you can see from all the leaderboards, I did not previously have a PB there, so one shot AT. As I mentioned at the start, that is part of why this week was honestly terrible. And really not a week that I would recommend getting into it. That one I hunted a little bit more, and this one as well. Like, this is all out all cards. And after my half-hour session, I did end up watching Grenadi's stream, and I found out that there were much more efficient strategies for this map in particular. Um, you see, that's such a terrible route landing there. Squeak. This map was honestly just so boring that, like, even if I wasn't already kind of not feeling this week, I probably would not be hunting that map ever. Oh, and we end on an 08 because of course we